Let's get a check on what Patrick was talking about there. Protests continuing across the U.S. for a second day over Donald Trump's executive order that bars migrants from 7 Muslim-majority countries from entering America. One of the largest demonstrations took place in Seattle, where thousands gathered to denounce the restrictions. More than 30 U.S. cities saw similar rallies throughout Sunday. Well, the immigration freeze applies to Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria and Yemen, and will remain in force for 90 days. It also blocks refugee admissions. The ban originally included people who have U.S. green cards, although the White House has since backtracked on that part of the ban. Donald Trump has issued a statement defending his executive order. He denied that the immigration restrictions are a Muslim ban, as many are claiming, and accused the media of false reporting. He also said the ban will only remain in place until new security policies are implemented over the next 3 months. The move wasn't unexpected, as it was one of Trump's presidential campaign pledges.
We're going to have extreme vetting for people coming into our country, and if we think there's a problem, it's not going to be so easy for people to come in.
Donald Trump also reiterated that the restrictions are aimed at keeping out potential terrorists. RT's Emily Sue brings us a closer look now at the roots of the ban.
A wave of worldwide outrage at Donald Trump's so-called Muslim ban. According to some, the Statue of Liberty had tears in her eyes after watching reports like these.
Critics say he is trampling on the U.S. tradition of welcoming immigrants.
I suppose it's what has explained so much of Donald Trump's political career, the exploitation of fear.
You are now arming the terrorists with all the propaganda that they need to show that the United States is a country of racists and doesn't care about Muslims.
President Donald Trump's executive order banning immigrants from 7 majority Muslim countries.
Those countries, you see them there: Libya, Sudan, Somalia, Yemen, Syria, Iraq, and Iran.
But hold on a sec. None of those Muslim majority countries are mentioned in Trump's executive order. Well, that's because Trump was not the one who singled out these countries. In fact, the list was part of a bill Barack Obama signed into law over a year ago. Under the Visa Waiver Program Improvement and Terrorist Travel Prevention Act of 2015, Washington had already been restricting visa access and targeting people who have visited these 7 countries.
7 countries that we've identified that, in fact, actually the Obama administration had previously identified needed further travel restrictions.
And while many argue Trump's ban will only fuel terrorism, let's not forget the FBI under Obama literally lured ordinary people through entrapment to become terrorists. A Human Rights Watch report in 2014 highlighted a disturbing trend of the FBI foiling their own plots to target American Muslims. Then there's Trump's order to halt Syrian refugee admissions for 4 months and cap them at 50,000 per year. Before you grit your teeth over this, keep in mind that before Obama dramatically increased admission numbers last year, here's how many he took in since the war broke out. Altogether, fewer than 2,000 out of the estimated 11 million displaced between 2011 and 2015. Why wasn't the mainstream media all over that?
Emily Sue there. And while the U.S. president continues to face accusations of being racist and anti-Muslim, some of his supporters are helping a Muslim immigrant who's fallen victim to the protests. Mohammed Ashraf, who came to the U.S. from Pakistan decades ago, is the owner of the limousine company whose car was seen being torched during demonstrations on Inauguration Day. An anti-Trump mob attacked one of his drivers when he dropped off a client in downtown Washington. They smashed windows, threw rocks at the car, injuring the driver and forcing him to flee. Then the car was set ablaze. Mr. Ashraf's firm now faces a $70,000 shortfall. Well, the anti-Trump protests are highlighting the deep division in the U.S. following the elections. Generally speaking, Hillary Clinton won over America's wealthy, getting support of regions that generate nearly 2/3 of the country's economy, while rural communities and the working class largely turned out for Donald Trump. Caleb Maupin asked people in Ohio, a key swing state for Trump, why they got behind the new U.S. leader.
After Trump won, chaos took hold in America's big cities. Windows got smashed and buildings were vandalized. But further away from Washington, D.C., like here in Wilmington, the buildings had already been crumbling for a long time.
It's not good. We don't have jobs. We need jobs.
Poverty's horrible. You know, business is lost. You know, like look at Airborne. And
when Airborne closed, you know, thousands of people lost their jobs. So it affected a lot of businesses. I just think that we haven't had a voice for, you know, a long time. So I'm excited about the president.
I feel like we have been forgotten. After DHL pulled out of Wilmington, our little town crashed. And, you know, I feel like Trump is going to maybe better that. He came here twice.
The signs in the community and on the farmers' land and stuff, it was all Trump. Yeah, people would like to see a change.
When it comes to protesters, locals say they don't mind people speaking up, but they don't understand what all the fuss is about.
It's crazy. I mean, I think that, you know, people don't get their way, and so they, you know, they gotta act like children. And
I'm a little disgusted with these people. I don't get that. It's not going to change anything.
That is ridiculous to me. I mean, if they want to be heard, I think there's other ways that you can do that and not be violent.
They certainly don't see Trump the way mainstream media has portrayed him, as a racist xenophobe.
They're perpetuating the hate.
It's the media. I think that there's a lot that is coming from the opposite party. There's a lot bigger things that are going on in our country that we need to deal with and stop this.
I didn't like either one of them. I didn't want either one of them. I weighed, you know, the two evils. I feel like Trump's going to do better for us.
I'm hoping he can do some of the things he said.
Times are hard here in Ohio, with many jobs in manufacturing eliminated. The local community has worked very hard to draw attention to its plight. Obama visited Clinton County back in 2008 and even made a radio campaign bemoaning local hardships. The locals say that after he became president, the hope and change never really arrived. Michael O'Mackerly worked at a local shipping center for 11 years before being laid off along with thousands of others. He and his family get by his earnings as a craftsman, making bespoke knives. He says thousands of other families here haven't been so lucky, and that the Obama years weren't so great for Wilmington.
When Barack Obama came through the town, he promised that he would, you know, that we'd be #1 on his agenda. Well, the votes didn't show that we voted for him. He never contacted us again, and we were ready for something different. We were ready to bring some jobs back here. We're really concerned about the economy. Just on my small street here, we probably had 7 houses for sale.
Only Trump visited the area twice during his campaign, promising to bring better days. Just a week into the Trump presidency, it's too early to judge his performance. But here, locals at least want to give him the chance to deliver.
He started doing the job before he took the job. That's pretty much dedication, don't you think?
Caleb Maupin, RT, Wilmington, Ohio.
More world news right after this.